ISMA got their season started this past weekend with their first show of the season at Oswego Speedway. Watch the highlights. I listed a link on Facebook. Wow, what a race. What a way to start. And wouldn't you know it, one of the drivers that we talked to last week for the very first time here on this channel actually ended up getting the win. Mike McVetta, excuse me, I always get that wrong, was leading until late. There was a caution with 6 laps to go. At that point, it was Trent Stephens, the driver out of Salisbury, North Carolina, who was able to get by. He ended up holding on for the win, his 26th winged super win, 4th with ISMA, and of course, he's got a race coming up this weekend at Jennerstown down in Pennsylvania at the half mile down there. Let's head out to Salisbury, North Carolina. Trent Stephens is now 1 for 1 on the ISMA Tour. Trent, how we doing, man?
Well, after last week, I'm doing pretty good.
I would imagine we are. So let's get to the basics. How good were you coming in? How good was your day before we got to the big 50-lapper?
Overall, I think the day was really, really good. We were about 9th, 8th quick in practice with old tires, and I know some guys have new tires on, so we were pretty happy with being in the top 10 on old tires. You know, they were from last year sometime, so they're pretty old. Car was positive. We made some adjustments. The car, made the changes that we thought it would. So we went into qualifying pretty happy, and we had a real good race car. I wouldn't say we were I wouldn't say we were trimmed out for outright qualifying speed, but we had a good race car.
Do you have to use the same tires, or can you switch somewhere along the way?
No, right. So once we qualify, we have to run those for the heat and the feature.
Did you put new tires on for qualifying then?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Kind of risky, not knowing what they were going to do? Or were you able to run them at least in one practice?
I think some guys will scuff, so they know what they do in qualifying. We've never usually used that philosophy. With the wing supers, the wing puts a lot of downforce in the car. So the tires get up to temperature pretty quick. So we've never had a negative effect by not scuffing.
Okay. Yeah, because I know in dirt, like for Oswego, they like to do 2-3 laps just to see how much they grow, things like that. But I talked to a lot of people on Friday at the Fast Friday, and I think you're right. I think about half of them say just go ahead and use new tires, and the other half say scuff them up first.
Yeah.
There's no real rule there, is there, then? It's whatever worked in the past, right?
I would say if you scuff, you're going to know what the car's going to do in qualifying. Where I guess I have had times in the past where we put new tires on and the car changes so much from practice to qualifying that it kind of ruins qualifying. So that has hurt. You know, you can have some issues there, but I guess the team and I have been together so long, we kind of know we know what adjustments we need to make for the tires as far as how the stagger changes and tire pressures, and I guess through experience, I've been able to tell them, yeah, the car is actually close, but the right rear tire is just gone, right?
Gotcha.
So, with old tires, if I feel like I'm sliding around a little bit, sometimes that's just an old tire, and we actually don't adjust the car then. You know, we know the new tire will fix that.
Okay. And what we're talking about, too, with scuff is a lot of times you'll go out, take like 2-3 laps, and then pull in. It's enough to put a heat cycle in there and see how much it's going to grow. So, and as we noticed, there really is no consensus, at least it seems that way early on with ISMA. So how were you in your heat?
Really good. Started, where did I start? Second, got the lead, and Otto ended up getting around me, but I thought the car was pretty good. I think the last 2 laps I had the fastest lap of the race. So
okay.
I think we were pretty good. Just kind of making sure I was keeping it one piece for the future.
God, yeah, that's the last thing you want to do in the heat. So how did that work? Were they qualifying so many cars? Did so many go to a draw? How did that work?
Oh, yeah. So the top 12 cars in qualifying were inverted into the heat races. So
3 heats, so fourth would be first and first would be fourth.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So I guess, so 12th, sorry.
Oh, they do it that way.
Fast
Okay.
time, fast time, second fast and third fast would start fourth in all their heats. And
gotcha.
It ended up being 12th, 11th, and 10th would start first in their heat.
Okay. So where did we finish?
Second.
And what did that mean?
So then that was that got me into the redraw for the feature. So then the top 12 from the heats would redraw for the top 12 starting spot.
Okay. I would imagine in a lot of cases that's probably the most important part of the night to some degree, isn't it?
Usually, yes.
Yeah, drawing 1 versus 12.
Yep. I would say sometimes in the longer races, the 100-lap race, you could maybe get away with starting outside the top 12. But, yeah, 50-lap shows, you definitely want to be in the top 12.
Trent started 4th. Did you move up right away? Did you fall back? How were the first few laps?
Well, so part of that pill draw, after the pill draw was over, I knew it was going to be a tough race. So the top 2 qualifiers drew 1 and 2.
Wow, wonderful.
And then I think Otto was 3rd, and he drew a 6. And then Lichty was 4th quick, and he drew a 3.
Oh, geez.
So
yeah, you got 3 of the top 4 in front of you.
Right. So I got a good start. I was able to hold Lichty off, so I got up to 3rd. And then obviously fast the 2 cars were on the front row, so I kind of figured they would be quick, and they were. So I kind of just got into a groove and was just trying to manage the pace. I didn't feel a lot of pressure from behind, and I was able to keep those guys in sight. I was able to stay about 3 or 4 crawlings behind, and just kind of got into a groove early in the race just to see what I could do later in the race.
Okay. How'd you get second?
Lap traffic.
Okay.
So actually Edwards was leading the first part of the race.
Oh,
and
McVetta was in second.
McVetta,
okay.
Yeah, so McVetta and I got him in lap traffic.
Oh, you both got him. Okay. You followed him through, kind of?
I think it was a couple laps between each other, but yeah,
Okay.
it was all in the same pack of lap cars, if you want to call it that. We caught a pretty big pack of lap cars right past halfway. I'd say there was probably 6, 7 lap cars all racing together.
Okay. So now we're up to second, and you told me you really didn't feel like you had anything for Mike, or did you at some point?
I think a few things happened. I think as far as speed-wise, I think we were probably pretty equal. But he was able to get to the traffic slightly better than I was, and actually Otto had spun. I think he had the tire go flat, and he came out right as we took the green, so he was like right in front of the leaders, and Mike was able to pass him, and I got stuck behind Otto.
Gotcha.
And he was just fast enough. Every time I would get next to him, we'd catch a lap car, and I couldn't get around Otto. So I kind of lost a little bit of ground on that. And yeah, so because I lost that little bit of ground, then I just kind of at that point was like, crap, I'm not catching him. He was a good half a straightaway ahead.
And the yellow
and then
came
that
out.
caution came out. Yeah.
How'd you get him? It was like 2 laps into the run, wasn't it, or something like that, if I remember?
It was actually on the green flag restart.
Oh, right away. Okay.
Yeah. So I think I noticed earlier in the race he was running a little higher. I think his car was probably a little higher, a little better, and like a groove and a half, 2 grooves up.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a really good restart. I was able to not spin the tires, and so I was pretty close to him going into 3. And I was actually thinking of maybe trying to go to the outside, and he actually pushed up. And luckily my car was good enough for me to actually, stab the brakes, turn left, and get under him, come off the floor.
Again, watch the highlights. They're really good, by the way. I watched. I can't love these things go around the track. Got less than a minute. Jennerstown is this weekend. Combined event, ISMA and MSS. How do we normally do at Jennerstown in 30 seconds?
Not great.
Oh, no? Oh, sorry about that.
So no, it's all right. I mean, we've had, I think, 2 top 10 finishes, but just barely.
Okay. So we're looking for another one.
Track is very fast. Now, that wasn't my old car, so this new car has been really good. So I'm trying to stay positive and thinking that'll fix our woes in the past.
Jennerstown is south of Pittsburgh, and like we said, that is the combined race this weekend. Trent, man, the time just flew. I wish you all the best, and who knows, maybe we'll get a chance to do this again next week.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hit the Bluey, guys. Subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff. And again, Jennerstown, MSS, ISMA combined. Maybe we'll see you guys there. Take care, man. Thank you.